Hey everyone, Serien here. Welcome back to episode 7 of A Summer's End. So, we left off in the last episode of our adventures with Sam and Michelle, spending the evening at the beach waiting for the stars. The two have a frank conversation about marriage and expectations, and then Michelle dozes off for a while and is viciously mauled by a horde of crabs. I made that last part up, but she does have a peculiar dream involving Sam and a mysterious lady in a boat that gives her similar advice to the supernatural old woman in the alleyway. But let's continue. Michelle? Did you fall asleep? Michelle? It was dark when I woke up. I couldn't make out any lights in the sky or much of anything else before me. The sound of the ocean waves told me I was still on the beach, but I couldn't see where Sam was. I felt a cold chill run through my spine. It was unnerving to be alone in the dark like this. Sam? Where are you? I'm here. I felt her hand on my shoulder. Sam had been next to me the whole time. Are you alright? You look scared. I had a strange dream. I was afraid he'd left. And leave you here alone in the dark? I don't know. Oh. Tired? No. I didn't mean to fall asleep. No worries, you weren't out long. Really? It's so dark now. Huh? Is it still not dark enough? We can't see any more stars now compared to earlier. The clouds had rolled in. Some nights are like that. Oh. Disappointed. No. It's just... It's getting late now. I think we should go. If we stay any longer, we're gonna get eaten alive by mosquitoes. I see. We have a bit of a walk back to the bike. Hold on to my hand, alright? You. The walk back from the beach wasn't too far, but I wished in my heart that it was just a bit further. It wasn't that I absolutely had to see the stars. I could go to the planetarium anytime to see them if I really wanted to. It was just a bit further. I think I see where the bike is. Michelle? Wait, Sam. What is it? Sam, look up. Oh, wow. The clouds opened up the rift in the sky, and we were able to see it. The streaks of spiraling stars and stardust that formed the arms of the Milky Way appeared in the night sky above us. The cluster of starry lights shone brightly for us in this temporal moment. We gazed at it as long as we could. I knew it would only be a short moment, for the clouds would soon cover the sky once again, returning the night to a plain darkness. But we saw it. We actually saw it. And it was stunning. I looked over to Sam. She was looking up to the sky. Her eyes were wide in awe. She was smiling from ear to ear. My heart swelled up with an unknown joy. My chest felt tight as if my heart was going to burst. It was a heavy feeling, a cathartic release of emotions. It was almost frightening. I reached out for Sam's hand in the darkness. She gently squeezed my hand back. I felt reassured that I was here on the same plane with her, and that we were living witnesses of this night. beautiful. It really is. It's tremendous to see the stars like this with your own eyes. There's so many more stars in the night sky than I could have imagined. Yeah, it was quite a sight. I haven't seen a night sky quite like this before. I'm really glad we got to see it. Thank you for bringing me here. I had a good time coming here. It would be nice to see it again. Sam. Michelle. I'll always treasure this moment. Thank you, Sam. Me too, Michelle. We rode on Sam's bike back to the city. On the winding mountain road in the twilight hours of the night. It felt as if we were the only people in the world. I held tightly onto Sam. Our dust-filled shoes flung out sand into the careless wind. Our hair smelled like the sun and the sea. Our moment together felt like a dream. I wasn't dreaming, though. I was in the real world. Time moved forward without bias, and soon the city lights came into view. I thought that the road back was short. Today felt as if I had gone to another country with Sam. Had the city always been so close? The city light shone so brightly from the distance, much brighter than the light of the stars. The road was smooth. We quickly entered the freeway. The city lights got closer and closer. I could almost grasp the light in my hands. I saw in the distance the city that we call home. It was the city that never sleeps. The city lights always shine so brightly, they never allowed the sky to rest. Even in the midnight hours, the sky was greenish-blue from the city lights. It was never pitch black like the way it was when I was on the beach. The city lights were many and bright. They shroud us from seeing the stars that were just above us, but I don't dislike them for that. Each shining light in the city served as beacons to the rest of the universe, saying loudly that we were here. We were here, and we existed in this moment. They were a sign of how many people were out there trying to make their claim to this place we call home. Sam and I were just one of the many. No matter what becomes of us, the city lights and the stars above will keep shining. What transpired tonight might ultimately have no effect on the fate of the universe, but it was something significant to me. I held on to Sam more tightly. I felt insecure. Cars and other vehicles sped by us as we entered the urban landscape. Though we were no longer alone on the road, our journey was its own. I could hear the sounds of the city clearly now. There were the sounds of traffic, the sound of vehicle engines, car horns, and the audible crossing signal was unavoidable anywhere in Hong Kong. As we entered the city proper, I could hear the sound of people chatting on the sidewalks and the sound of music playing in the near distance. The city was still bustling at this midnight hour. My heart felt pained. We weren't going as fast anymore on the bike, but it felt as if we were accelerating out of control towards something too unknown and abstract. It was such a heavy feeling. A part of me wanted to hit the brakes on this. Please don't do that on the highway. Another part of me wanted to keep going further and further. Why did I have to feel like this? I thought. Sam looked over her shoulder to me at the next traffic stop. I couldn't make out the expression in her eyes. All I saw was my own reflection in her helmet. It was well past midnight, and for the first time, I thought to myself that I didn't want to go home. "Where is your home, Michelle?" "It's by Kowloon City. Okay, I'll drop you off. I can bring your shirt to you another time. That's right. I almost forgot about it. The pedestrian signal was counting down. The light was about to change. Sam took her foot off the road and back on the bike. I felt the forward momentum of the bike slowly inching ahead. She tightened her grip on the throttle. I should tell her before it's too late to turn back. Sam? You don't have to take me back home. I want to go back with you. Michelle. It had been quite late already. It was much past the time I should have been home. I didn't have any other ulterior motives to be here. I just didn't want to go home yet. I wanted to say this to Sam, but I couldn't find the words to articulate this. I looked over to Sam. She acted cool and casual, as if such a scene had played out before her 100 times already. I didn't like that. It's been a long day. Want me to put on a movie? If you're hungry, we can get something to eat. There's still a lot of late-night eateries open here. A midnight snack would be fun. There's wonton noodles. There's dim sum. There's barbecue. And let's not forget about da lang. Just name it. Sam, I'm not hungry. Oh. I looked around her place. It was hard to look at Sam in the eye for some reason. I saw a familiar blouse hanging by her bed. Oh, that's right. I almost forgot. Here's her blouse. She handed me my blouse. It was neatly pressed. No stain or damage could be found. It's lucky it didn't stain at all, right? Sam looked over to me. Her eyes seemed to search for a response. We had spent the whole day together, yet this was the first time that I had looked deeply into her eyes. I couldn't endure a gaze that seemed to look through me. I turned away. I had no words to say. Sam turned her back to me and walked over to the balcony. She opened the door and stepped out. I felt the night air fill her room. She seemed to be searching for something in the night sky. I didn't know what. The neon lights outside covered Sam in vivid reds. I stood apart in the blue dim room. The distance between us was only a room's length, but the dividing line was all too apparent. I felt incredibly lonely like this. You can't see a single star from here. But occasionally, you can see airplanes flying in and out of Kite Tech. There's something about seeing a plane taking off that makes you want to go somewhere. Sometimes when I see a plane in the night sky, I imagine myself sitting on that plane. I'm looking down on my city from the window seat of a plane 1,000 feet up in the air. The cabin lights turn off, and I lean back. Rest assured I'll be somewhere far away after a night's sleep. Do you feel that way sometimes? I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if I shared the same feeling with Sam. I tried to imagine the same scene that Sam had described. That I was up in the air inside an airplane, looking out the window at the city lights below. Where was I going? I didn't have an answer for myself. There wasn't a specific place that came to mind where I wanted to travel. I searched for an answer in my heart. I wanted to go somewhere. It didn't matter so much where. What I wanted was to go somewhere with someone at my side. I stepped towards Sam. What I was searching for wasn't something that could be found outside her window. It wasn't something that could be seen in the sky either. I reached out towards Sam. I hoped that she could answer me. Sam? Michelle? Sam, how do you feel about me? Michelle, forget it. It's nothing. I like you. What do you mean? I would like us to be more than this. More? I don't understand. How could two women... If it's something possible with you, it's impossible. We're both... I just think... Michelle, look at me. Michelle, don't tell me what you think, but rather how you feel. Feel? I feel like you're an old friend. That you're easy to talk to, and that you always have something interesting to say. I like that about you. Michelle, what am I to you? Huh? When we kissed last time, did you feel it to be wrong? Kissed. It did. But it didn't. I can't tell you. And if we kissed again, would it be alright? Sam, I don't know. I had a really good day with you. Michelle, you're a charming person. I want to be with you more. I want to get to know you more. I have a good feeling just from being with you today. I want to go somewhere again with you. And talk with you more. If you don't mind, I want to kiss you again. I want to be someone close to you. I want to hold you and touch you. Sam, please. That's too much. I can't. You can't? I don't know. I never felt this way before. My heart is pounding so fast. I don't know what to do with it. Michelle. Sam. May I? In the same place where we had shared our first kiss. Oh my God. I found myself again face to face with Sam. This time, there were hardly any sounds outside to disturb us, nor were there any smells from a neighbor's cooking to distract us. Even if there was something, I didn't pay it any heed. My attention was to the person before me. It was just the two of us, together again in this lonely hour. My back leaned against the cool glass of the balcony window. Sam's warm body pressed against mine. She deepened her kiss and I followed. I wanted time to pause and let us be like this for a bit longer. I wanted to take in this moment slowly, so I wouldn't forget. When I broke free from her kiss, Sam held her arms around me gently. I looked into her eyes. Michelle, I want to show you my feelings. More than this. Wait, hold on now. Sam, please. Just kissing is already enough for me. Michelle, are you scared? I'm not. Then, can I kiss you again? Sam. Whoa! We kissed with passion. I didn't stop Sam. I couldn't deny that I wanted to understand this feeling that I had with her, even though my logical being said I should push her away. It shouldn't be like this, I thought. I shouldn't be like this at all. But against all reason, I tightened my embrace. I held her closer. I couldn't explain to myself why tonight, of all nights, I could go further with her. Whatever will be, until the sun rises. Oh my God, they fucked. I woke up in Sam's room. It was a warm summer morning. A small metal fan was oscillating back and forth, blowing balmy air onto our sweaty bodies. I must have laid awake for an hour on Sam's bed. Her arms were languidly wrapped around me. Her long hair was tangled with my hair, and her legs were crossed with mine. I felt her slow breaths on my neck. She must be sound asleep. I tried to remain as still as possible, as to not disturb her slumber. I listened to the sounds of the morning. It was quiet outside. I couldn't make out any noises or voices from neighboring apartments or from the street below. People seemed slow to get up this morning. I was left alone with the clarity of my own thoughts, all the while Sam softly slept. It was dim inside Sam's room. As time passed by, the light of the sun eventually passed through the buildings, unobstructed, and penetrated through the apartment bedroom window. The morning light was not gentle. I felt Sam stirring from her sleep. Once she wakes, I would have to take my leave. Michelle? Michelle? Michelle, I like you. I felt her embrace around me tighten. My chest felt pained. I had to fight back tears. I should not feel like this. I had to be stern for my own sake. What happened last night? It was a one-time thing. I knew in my heart that anything more between us was impossible. I already told Sam. She should know this too. Sam brushed back my hair. Her eyes met with mine. I could not let it be more than this. I had to push her away. Oh. Sam, I have to go. Oh no. Michelle. Please, Michelle. Please stay. We can spend the day together. Don't be quiet like this. Talk to me. I can't be like this with you. Oh. Sam, I just can't. Michelle. Please, Sam. Any more than this, we just can't. Michelle. I'm gonna get dressed. I got out of her bed. I picked up my clothes that had been discarded in haste the night prior. I kept my back towards Sam. Oh no. I didn't want her to see my expression. Whatever she was thinking, I did not want to know either. I didn't know what had gotten over me last night. I had never done such a thing with anyone, and I never thought I'd be a person who would. I had always been a reserved and self-controlled person. I would always do my tasks accurately and diligently. No matter how tired I was, I would finish whatever task that was expected of me. I wasn't someone who would let myself be consumed by passion. I smoothed out my shirt before putting it on. It had been tangled with Sam's denim jacket that had laid on the floor. In the right mind, I would never discard even a worn sock on the floor and let it get dirty. Why did I do such a thing with Sam? An answer floated up from my subconscious and lingered in my mind. I dared not even to have the thought be uttered. I was frightened by myself. I did something wrong. I did something shameful. I had to face my own wrongdoing and go. There's no possibility of anything working out between us beyond this one night. Sam had her thoughts and her own feelings. She lived her life the way she wanted to, and I had my own life to live as well. If I get caught up in her life any more than this, we would just hurt each other more. I wasn't compatible with her lifestyle, and she wasn't compatible with mine. There's no way out of this other than for me to leave. I had put on my shoes. I was about to take my leave. Sam stood at the door. I tried not to look her in the eyes. I have to go back home now. Can I walk you out? Sam, it's okay. I can see myself out. Michelle. Sam, last night, it was something I didn't expect to happen. Michelle, I can't. I really can't. It can't be more than this. Michelle, can we talk about it a bit more? Sam, just talking with you, I can't. Please don't ask anything more than this. It's impossible between us. I'm sorry, Sam. I'll be going now. I took the flight of stairs out of the apartment building. Every step I took created a loud echo of my footsteps. It was as if the narrow stairwell was amplifying my shame to the entire building. I didn't like it, but I preferred this over being alone in the elevator. I couldn't stand still in an enclosed space and be left with my thoughts. I needed to keep moving. I stepped out onto the street. I wanted to get lost in the crowd, but I was alone on the street. It was exceptionally humid outside. Mongkok on a cloudy day looked so unfamiliar. Without the neon lights or the bright sunlight to create contrasts of color, the gray concrete buildings seemed all too glum and empty. I suppose it was still early on a Sunday. The crowds were not yet out. Sunday. It was a day with its own certain melancholy. Neither like Monday nor Saturday. Sunday was a bookend to the work week hustle, but it was also the uncomfortable beginning of the next. I didn't like Sundays. I didn't like things that were halfway between something else. I stood on the side of the street and waited for a taxi. I was getting antsy. It seemed like an eternity while I waited. I felt a sprinkle of water from something above. I looked up. The gray skies seemed all too low and heavy above me. It was suffocating. It felt out of place to be alone on a street so quiet like this. It was as if I had stepped out into a world that I had no longer recognized. And I saw it in a shimmering flash of light. A white dragon appeared. His long body snaked through the dark clouds like ripples in the sky. He roared and fired his hot breath down from the heavens. I saw a taxi come my way. I better hurry home before I'm caught in a thunderstorm. returned home in the afternoon. My shoes were scratched and dirtied. I had come home looking like a mess. I had once again left my blouse with Sam. I had forgotten to grab it on my way out. But this time, I had to treat it as a loss. There was no way I could go see her again. Mother? There was no answer. My mother appeared to be out. I felt relieved. I wanted to change and wash up before seeing her. On Sundays, she would usually attend church and then have tea with my extended family. I figured she might have gone out without me. I glanced around the kitchen. I noticed there had been food poured down the sink. My mother. She had waited for me to come home last night. How long did she wait before she realized I wasn't going to come home for dinner? I had lied to her yesterday. I had lied to her the other night before. I didn't come home last night when I said I would be home early. I promised to have dinner with her, but I broke my promise. I had done a terrible thing. Chong Feng Ha. My mother called out my full name with deliberate intensity. She appeared out of her bedroom. Her eyes looked red and swollen as if she had not slept the entire night prior. Mother, where have you been all night? Who were you with? Why didn't you call me? I'm sorry. I didn't get a chance to call you. I met up with my friend, but one thing led to another. And then what? And I had ended up making an overnight trip to Saikung. An overnight trip? It'll be the last time for me to see her, so she wanted to have a party before she left. I lied again. I don't know why it had to be like this when it came to anything related to Sam. Huh? What does that have to do with you? Well, she was moving to America. If she was leaving for America, why did you have to be gone overnight? It was a going away party. It went on very late. Anyway, I'm sorry for not telling you. Please don't be too upset. I'm not trying to be upset. I'm just worried about you. I know. You are still young. You should be careful. Careful? Of your reputation. I was married to your father and had you when I was your age. You won't get men of quality if you go looking for it in the wrong places. And you certainly won't find respect either. I'm not going to say anything more about whatever you did last night. I just want you to know that I'm disappointed in you. Mother, I'm leaving to meet your aunt. I already missed church and now I might be late to the opera because I was beside myself with endless worry waiting for you. How was I going to sleep soundly knowing you were out somewhere all night? I'm really sorry. You look dirty. You should get yourself cleaned up. I lied again to my mother. There's no way I could tell her the truth about what happened. She could never accept it. My mother always had a sharp tongue. She wields it like a blade with such pinpoint precision. Honestly, I'm terrified whenever she turns her judgment on me. Sam, you wouldn't be able to understand why it wouldn't work out between us. I'm not the kind of girl you think I am. The stars look close when you look at them with the naked eye. In reality, they are light years apart, an incomprehensible distance for any mortal being. The distance between me and Sam is too great. I cannot fathom how it would ever work out between us. And with the lives that we have as is, the distance between us will only become greater over time. I can't. I just can't. I can't let myself be lost in something so senseless, so meaningless. It was one night's indiscretion, not anything more. I worked so hard to build up the life that I have now. I couldn't let it be changed by something that was never supposed to happen anyway. I needed to prepare myself for tomorrow's workday. I had resolved to end my contact with Sam from the beginning. But somehow, despite my best intentions, things had gone completely against what I originally sought to do. I couldn't change what had already happened. It was a momentary lapse in judgment that I have to accept. All I could do at this point was to move on with my own life. I would start by taking a hot shower. After a long day of keeping myself busy, I threw myself onto my bed and shut my eyes tight. There was nothing else left to do other than to surrender my thoughts to the void. Try as I might, I couldn't fall asleep. My thoughts persisted to cycle back and forth between memory and regret. I wanted to turn my mind off. I didn't want to think about anything anymore. There was already enough on my mind to think about. To think about Sam, I couldn't. It pained me too much just to think about it. I wish for the long night to come to me soon. Huh? Hey, when are you going back to your work? Dad, the World Cup only comes once every 4 years. I don't have sports cable, and you're my only father in this world. Can I spend some time with you? Huh? What are you saying? I'm worried about your future. You think your tapes can keep selling forever? I keep telling you to sell more Cantonese opera recordings. I do have them, but I want to focus on more specific films though. You're in the tourist area. How about getting in those dubbed versions of the Bruce Lee movies? Your brother is doing well for himself teaching Kung Fu in San Francisco. He's got Americans calling him master. Isn't that great? Yes, that's great. I don't get why you keep all those old foreign movies. People in Hong Kong want to see action films, or something sexy, or something with a bit of both. Be smarter and more serious about your business. I am serious. I'm trying to curate something different. It's not like I'm doing it poorly. I'm making money more than you think. Alright. But don't you think this evening hour is important for business? Why don't you consider hiring someone to help then? Why don't you have your shop open? Well, I'm watching the football game right now. Huh? Aren't you as bad as me now? It's not like I closed up my shop completely. If someone wants my services, they just need to give me a shout. Excuse me. Huh? What was that? Someone's knocking. You have a customer. Oh. Is anyone there? Since you're here, can you get the gates open for me? Okay. We're back to that day. When I first met Michelle, I was charmed at first glance. I like women with sharp eyes. When they look at you with that piercing gaze, I get goosebumps. Anyway, that's probably why when I saw Michelle looking back at me with those eyes, and seeing her dressed to the nines in a pressed blazer suit and her feet adorned haphazardly with a pair of pink sandals, I have to say it left quite an impression in my mind. I couldn't help myself to tease her a little. It's in my nature. I can't change this part about myself. Excuse me. Oh, a customer. Wait just a moment. Is she a regular customer? That's none of your business. I got work to do. It's about time you get going. Am I that in your way? Please go. I'm getting hungry anyway. If you're chasing me away, I'll get dinner. I'm not chasing you away. Hey, if you're so free right now, help me pick up some takeout food. What do you want? Anything is fine. Western style or Chinese? Western. Give me a chef salad. Okay, one chef salad. Anything else? Oh. Since you're coming back, can you pick me up some crickets? Huh? For your prize Oscar fish? Yes, he's starving for live food. Why can't you just throw in some cockroaches off the street? They're free. That's disgusting. My poor fish. Don't they eat bugs? Crazy. Cockroaches will kill it. I'm not feeding something so dirty to my fish. If it's that troublesome, just feed it flake food. What? You don't understand. My fish is a primal animal. A predator needs to hunt to satisfy his instinct to live. Alright, I'll get it. Anything else you wanted me to pick up? Oh, give me a can of Coke on your way back. Alright. I don't always go to see my dad. From time to time, we might meet to have dinner. Otherwise, we don't see each other much. My dad never really knew how to be a dad. When I was a teenager, I got the idea that he didn't want to be the moral compass in my life anymore. So I moved out. I learned that so long as my dad didn't know about my business, he had no complaints. Age and time might have softened him, but his heart is still old and conservative. If we were ever together too long, we were bound to argue. It was better for the both of us to continue living apart. We could live our own lives separately, without much intrusion. He had enough to worry about already. He doesn't need a daughter like me burdening him. But today I just got a feeling my dad might have been lonely. Summertime brings out a certain melancholy in my household. I went to a nearby pet store. It was on the way to the restaurant that I quite liked. What I needed to pick up here for my dad was some fish food. Okay, I think for now we'll wrap things up here. So, I don't know if Michelle's coming back, but we're seeing things from Sam's perspective now. And, God, I just want them to be together, please. That's all I ask. In the next episode, we'll continue on with what Sam's thoughts were when she met Michelle. That was a really heartbreaking episode, but I want to see this through. So, until then, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Remember to please take care of yourself, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.